Now, in this video, we will actually see how to create and consume AI service. So, first we will see some theoretical concepts, and then we will see how to create the service in the portal. So, now we have clearly understood AI service as a cloud based service which actually encapsulates AI capabilities. Now, you should understand that you should not see this service as a individual, as a single service. It is actually a set of multiple individual services, and you can use each of these service as a building block to compose your own intelligent applications. We've already seen the different categories that we have, but broadly you can categorize as under language. You have got Azure AI language, Azure AI translator. So this is actually your Azure service resource. Under each of these you have again multiple capabilities that we have already seen in our previous video. And then we have under speech Azure AI speech. Under vision you have got computer vision, custom vision, face detection. Then under decision category you have got anomaly detector, content moderator and personalizer. And apart from these classification, we have got other AI services like AI document intelligence, cognitive search, immersive reader, Azure OpenAI. So we will see each of these services in detail. Now, in order to consume these Azure AI services or the capabilities of these Azure AI service, you need to provision an appropriate Azure AI resource in the portal. You need to actually create an appropriate resource. Now, whenever you provision an Azure AI resource, you actually define an endpoint using which you can consume the service. So, basically your application will consume this Azure AI service using an endpoint. And access to this service is restricted by access keys. So, authentication is done using access keys. So, basically when you provision an Azure AI resource, two keys are generated. You call them as a subscription keys or access keys, which your application can make use of. Any of the two keys it can make use of. Apart from this, you create the resource so that you can manage the billing of your service usage. So you can also manage the billing of your service usage through this AI resource that you will create in portal. Now, what are the different provisioning options that we have? So we have multi-service resource. So what is multi-service resource here? So when you create a Azure AI resource as a multi-service resource, it supports multiple different AI services. You will be creating a single resource, but it will support multiple different AI services. And all these services will have a single endpoint to be able to consume. So all your applications, if they are trying to consume this multi-service resource, all the AI services will be consumed by single endpoint, and the set of access credentials also will be single. So you will have only single endpoint and single set of access credentials. Also, the point of billing will be single for all the services, which means that if you are consuming, let's say, 3 or 4 services, so the billing for the usage will be maintained at the single place. So it will be accumulated completely for all the services. Now, when it comes to single service resource, instead of creating only one resource and then consuming all the AI services under it, you can create a separate resources and then you can provision the service individually. But you will have a separate endpoint for each service, and then independent access credentials will be there for each service. Even the billing for each service will be separate. So if you want to use Azure AI language, Azure AI speech, if you have Azure AI vision, then you will be creating 3 different service if you are going with single service resource. Apart from this multi-service resource and single service resource option, you have got another option called training and prediction resources. So here you will be able to create a dedicated service specific resource which is actually used only just to train your model, and the billing will be managed separately for training your custom models, and separate billing will be there for the generic AI service resource that you will actually create to consume the service. So here, this particular resource you will only use for training your data, and consumption or inferencing will be made by the actual AI service resource, and billing will be separate for each of these resources. So now we have clearly understood, to consume a service you need to have a endpoint. What is the endpoint? Endpoint is nothing but a address on which you can send a request, http post, put, get, or any post, put, or get request based on the requirement or based on the function that you are trying to call from API, and you can submit a data in the form of JSON, or you can submit a request data in the form of JSON over HTTP. So that is nothing but your endpoint, and to access this endpoint you should know a subscription key. Your application should provide a valid subscription key so that they get authenticated, and then they should be able to consume the function, your API, your Azure AI service function. And for some of these services you also need to mention the resource location. So this is the location of your Azure AI service that you specify when you actually provision your service or it is the location of the data center where your Azure AI resource is created. So this is about your options to provision Azure AI resource. So I just want to give you clear picture of this so that when we actually create, you should be aware of these options that we have and what are the three different things that your application should be aware in order to consume the AI service. Thank you. See you in the next video.